What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another video. Hopefully, everybody's doing good, man. We got the rumor of the day. Matter of fact, it's actually news. So I'm just gonna wait for the chat to fill up a little bit, and then we're gonna dive right into it. Also, how y'all feeling about the playoffs, man? They've been sensational, if you ask me. Unfortunately, the young Pelicans fell, which I expected that to happen. Young teams usually fail early in the playoffs, but they're gonna be a dangerous team, especially once Zion comes back, and a hell of a coach by Willie Green there. To get that team really competitive, taking the Phoenix Suns to 6 games. So shout out to them for that. Now we're gonna have Dallas versus Phoenix. That's gonna be a really really fun series. Hopefully you guys are all tapping in. All right. So Lakers have officially begun their search for the next head coach of our Los Angeles Lakers, and we start with the hot rumor of the day: Darvin Ham, assistant coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. I believe he was a Lakers assistant as well in 2012, 2013. We all know he got Lakers ties all over it. But this is a name that shocks me because he doesn't have any head coaching experience. And even though he's one of the most well respected around the league, Darvin is. It's interesting that he's the first name that pops out as a candidate, especially considering all the rumors with Mark Jackson and all these cats that supposedly the Lakers are interested in. Darvin Ham gets the first swipe at this job. He gets the first interview. So, yeah, the Lakers have requested officially permission to speak with Darvin Ham. So they're interested in him. And I think it's interesting because, look, Darvin Ham, like I mentioned, he's really well respected around the league as an assistant, but I'm not sure if he's choice number A or B for like LeBron and AD. So this tells you that the Lakers organization could be going in a different direction than whatever they want. We all know Mark Jackson is a hot commodity. We all know Quinn Snyder is a hot commodity. And by the way, rumors today are that the Lakers are extremely interested in Quinn Snyder as well, especially after he lost in 6 games to the Dallas Mavericks. So, we still don't know anything on his front, but are the Lakers going to interview him as well? But I do want to know, what does Laker Nation think of Darvin Ham? The one thing I like about him is that clearly in Milwaukee, they're using it. They're playing to their advantages. They're using all their size and they're doing the right things. This is why they won a championship last year. Now, if he continues that mold with the Lakers, that could only mean good things, right? But again, an assistant, get thrown into the fire that is Los Angeles, it's going to be tough. I want Mark. Hey, what's up, Craig? Bucks are champs, so I trust him. He said, Mark Jackson, please. He said, I'll take him over Snyder. We better not get Snyder because it's just like signing Vogel back again. Now, I won't say that. Quinn Snyder is a better coach than Vogel, but I do admit that I'm disappointed that he gets bounced out of the playoffs every season, having a stacked roster as he has early, and especially early. He's not making a deep Western Conference playoff run either. So, even though people are saying, okay, he has 2 years in his deal, yeah, but there's always ways. You can also trade coaches. That's what people don't understand. And there's a reason that the name is tied to the Lakers. There might be some mutual interest. We don't know, but it's just starting to get heated up right now. The rumor mill is just starting to turn. And again, the Lakers have officially commenced their search they're about to interview Darvin Ham real soon. So he said, for real, Snyder's might be good for a season, but I feel like it'd be downwards trend after that. Yeah, we need somebody who's going to come in here and build a winning culture and be able to, again, have a strong backbone, be able to talk to superstars the way they needed to be talked to, and have a command of the locker room. That's most important. Of course, Mark Jackson fits the bill. There's other coaches as well that have come to mind. A lot of people like Quinn Snyder, some don't. I'm on Quinn Snyder because, again, he's had a pretty good roster for the last couple of seasons. He hasn't done much with it. Second round exit on the yearly, and this year first round exit. So, but Darvin Ham is very interested. Again, I kind of figured we'd start interviewing, coaches or assistant coaches that nobody was talking about. That's usually what the Lakers do. We're talking about all these other big names, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, boom, Lakers requested an interview with Darvin Ham. So leave it to Rob Pelinka and Jeannie and everybody to surprise us, right? Darvin Ham is very interesting choice. I like it, though. Well, it doesn't surprise me, though, because he has Laker ties, obviously. He was an assistant for us before, so they might trust him a little more. But that's what I think the Lakers have to stop doing, is looking within. And if they're looking at Darvin Ham because of what he has been able to accomplish in his years with Milwaukee, then I'm all for it. But if they're looking at him because, oh, he has ties to the Lakers and he's been here before and he would be comfortable and blah, 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 nah, I'll pass on that. I need somebody who's surefire, ready to come in here and take the reins no matter what the situation or circumstance is. It's not about comfort. It's about making everything really uncomfortable and, setting things in place. We need somebody who's going to come in here and build a winning culture. Now, that could be Darvin Ham. I don't hate the selection at all. Especially he comes from a winning program, and we know what the Bucks have been able to accomplish. He's definitely a reason for that. But this is just the beginning. I don't expect us to immediately interview him and boom, that's going to be the pick, unless he knocks it out the ballpark. A boy said, I love Darvin Ham. How about Sam Cassell? That's another assistant that's been around for sure. But again, my preference is head coaching experience, guys that have been there, done that, and guys that are going to come in here ready to take the reins, like I said. Now, I'm not mad at some of these assistant choices because a lot of them historically have put in the work. And like Monty Williams, he was an assistant first, and now look at him. He's become a successful head coach in the league, very well respected. Willie Green, assistant, now look at him. He looks really solid with that young Pelicans team, right? So you got to be open-minded to everything, but at the same time, man, I'm hoping for a big name like Mark Jackson. I honestly don't know who he is, Dan. It's intriguing, though. You will see him. I'm going to post him in the thumbnail for those of you that don't know. After this video circulates, I will definitely post him up there. He said, Snyder wasn't a problem. The Jazz was loaded, but still don't want him. Jazz underachieved because of the players. It's a combination to me, man. People want to blame the players sometimes, but I'll tell you, it's a combination of players and coaching. I've seen some coaches that have overachieved with a lesser roster, and I've seen vice versa. The Frank Vogels of the world that underachieved with a more roster, a better roster. So I'm not sold on Quinn. Would I be mad if they hired Quinn Snyder? No, I wouldn't be mad because I think he's a decent coach. I definitely think he's an upgrade to Frank. And you might say, how, Dan, if Frank Vogel won a championship in the bubble? It's not about that. It's about coaching schemes, strategies, the way they can command the locker room. I mean, look at Quinn Snyder. He looks like the villain in a damn movie. You mean to tell me he's not going to be able to command the locker room with that face? This guy, listen, if I was casting a new villain for the next Marvel movie for the Red Scroll or some shit, he would be it. All right. So don't tell me he won't command respect for the locker room. He always looked pissed off on the sideline. He looks involved. So he could definitely be an intriguing coach. But I really want to see more. I want more from this. We're the Lakers, man. We deserve the best of the best. We shouldn't have to settle for tier B coaches. I want grade A coaches, straight up. That's what I want. Am I wrong for wanting that? Maybe I'm a little spoiled. That's cool. I'm a Laker fan, but I'm also realistic, and I know this is a glorified franchise, and we need not only glorified stars, but we need top-notch coaches. I mean, the best two coaches we've had in the history here in Los Angeles, obviously Phil Jackson, number one, Pat Riley, number two. Outside of that, who else is going to, come in here and set a winning culture and make the right moves and put the team in the best position to succeed, not just for now, but for the future? Because we need somebody like that. We need an anchor that's going to come in here and build from the ground up. We need that. He said, worried Quinn Snyder don't make adjustments from what I've seen. Yeah, exactly. Listen, Laker Luds is on point. And this is what I'm telling you about these coaches. I pay attention to what they're doing in the playoffs, all right, because that's when you can really see the pedigree of a coach. Now, obviously, the Jazz are still missing like one superstar away from being real contenders. But nonetheless, he's still getting bounced early in the first round. Last year, early in the second round, not even getting to Western Conference when they got Mike Conley. They got Jordan Clarkson off the bench. They got Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year. They got Donovan Mitchell. They're stacked. Obviously, Joe Ingles. They have a lot of good players. They should at least get out of the first round. He said he looks just like the villain from the first Spider-Man movie. He does. But I say that with all due respect to say that we don't want any friendly, buddy, good, goody two-shoe type coaches like Frank. We don't want, a coach that's going to come here and try to have dinner with Jeannie and become part of the family per se. No, we want somebody who's going to come in here. It's okay if they bump heads with Linda Rambis and Kurt Rambis, but they command the locker room and the players will fall in line. That's what I want. I don't want somebody who's going to come in here and suck up and, nah, man, we don't need a pen pal in Los Angeles. We need somebody who's going to break that clipboard upside the referee's head if they make the wrong call. Like, we need somebody who really cares. You've seen Willie Green, gushing with tears, and you can see his passion for his team. Give me that type of coach, somebody who truly freaking cares, man. That's what I want to see, man. Dan, what do you think of Tom Thibodeau? I like him. My only concern with him is he tends to run star players into the ground and they end up getting injured. Very similar to Mike D'Antoni. And that's the one thing I don't like about him. He said, hey, Dan, since you like music, you should have a reaction music video channel. I do, man. It's Primetime TV Space DTLF. That's my second channel. I haven't uploaded content yet, but I will definitely make time. I'm telling you, I got a lot of plans for that channel, including Rams pre and post game during the season for the most part, unless the Lakers play, where my priorities lie. But other than that, yeah, I look forward to that channel. So subscribe. Yeah, that's a good idea. I might react to like the new Future album was pretty hard. I might actually, go on and react. I'm not sure what the rules are for YouTube. Like, will they copyright me or not? I'm not sure, but I got to figure it out. He said, it's a stretch, but see if Nick Nurse gets fired. Yeah, he's probably not going to get fired. He's been able to build that type of winning culture I want for the Lakers, even after Kawhi Leonard left. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean, overachieving. He's got a bunch of youngsters over there, and he's bringing out the max out of those guys. I mean, he got Fred VanVleet looking like a borderline all-star. He got the new rookie, Scotty Barnes, winning Rookie of the Year, even though I didn't think he deserved that. But bottom line is, you got to love coaches like that. They bring the max out of their players, no matter if you have the stars or not. If you don't have the stars, then you gotta, make the most of it. And I hate the Clippers, and I hate to bring them up as an example, but even they made the play-in, and they were missing Paul George and Kawhi for a huge chunk of the season. So there's no excuses for Frank, and that's why he got fired. People don't understand that. People say, oh, want to make excuses. Oh, well, Anthony Davis was injured. Oh, LeBron was in and out of the lineup. Listen, you still had Malik Monk, Russell Westbrook, still had Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench. You still had Dwight, who you misused, just like Montrezl Harrell, just like other bigs you've had in the past. You had plenty of options, and you didn't utilize them. You had Austin Reeves looking like a damn star, riding away over there on the bench. He didn't play a couple of games. So poor coaching will always lead to poor results, and that's the bottom line. And you see, on the contrary, you see Jason Kidd on the other hand. Jason Kidd has Luka Doncic, right? Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie, and a bunch of decent role players, but it's nothing to write home about outside of Luka Doncic. And look how he has Jalen Brunson playing. Jason Kidd, the one we let go. Jalen Brunson playing amazing basketball. Okay, he has Spencer Dinwiddie finding a home. And we always hear the excuse of, hey, this player hasn't really got his feet wet. He hasn't got comfortable within the offense. No excuses. Spencer Dinwiddie came in and fit in like a glove. The best coaches will utilize the players to the max of their talent, to maximize their talent from day one. What did Phil Jackson do with Pau Gasol? The moment we got him, you plug him into a lineup, it looked like Kobe and him. And again, major credit to Kobe as well. But coaching mattered. Running that triangle offense, putting the ball in Pau's hands in the post and letting him operate from there. Coaching matters. And this is where I go back to Darvin Ham. Now, again, I haven't really paid too much attention to him, but I will say this. He's a part of the Bucks. You look at the way the Bucks coach, very intelligent team. They're defensive minded first. They utilize their size properly. They take advantage of their mismatches, which is a dream come true for our Lakers. If we can do that with AD, park him closer to the rim instead of having him fade away and shooting, turnaround jump shots and one-legged Dirk Nowitzki-esque three-point shots, then he would really maximize his talent. He would look like Pelicans, aka Bubble AD, once more. Not only that, but maybe Darvin Ham could come in here, plug in a nice little point guard that could help facilitate for, take some pressure off of LeBron James. And at the same time, if you realize this throughout the course of the seasons that we've had Anthony Davis, I always realize when you get him going early offensively, all of a sudden that basket starts getting bigger. He is that type of player. He goes as the game goes, he goes. The more he starts scoring early on, the more difficult buckets he starts getting throughout the course of the game. We need a real point guard. We got rid of Rondo. He used to do that. The bubble championship year, we utilized Rondo the right way. But again, remember, we had two great assistant coaches. One was Jason Kidd. So coaching matters, guys. It is something I've been harping on since I went sour on Frank. I gave him plenty of opportunities, but once I went sour on him, same thing with Luke. I wanted him fired, and thank God it happened. And now we're starting this search. Who is I want to know, Laker Nation in the chat right now, who's your guys' favorite candidate so far from all the ones that have been mentioned, right? Mark Jackson, Quinn Snyder, Darvin Ham. Who's your favorite candidate so far and why? I would love to read some of the comments right now, get you guys a little involved. I want to know why you guys do or don't like Darvin, why you guys do or don't like Mark, Quinn, anybody, you know? He said, I tweeted to Genie for big game James. I liked his passion at the All-Star game, but I just don't know if he'd be up to it. I mean, I think he's comfortable in his job. He said Ham was a part of the Lakers team who won one of the three championships in the 2000s. Yeah, the Laker ties are there, Carlos, definitely, for sure. But do we really want to hire players because of their Laker ties? I don't. Personally, I do not. I wanted it to be strictly coaching reasons. He said I will say Mark Jackson. He said he can always go back to broadcasting if it don't work out. That is true. That is definitely true. Mark Jackson, he turned around the Warriors. I really don't understand why a lot of people they don't buy a lot of stock into Mark Jackson. I don't know why. Maybe they buy the media hype. A lot of people send me stuff that the media says and that becomes their opinion. But I think I would like for us to step outside of the box and just think for ourselves for a minute. What are the pros and what are the cons to Mark Jackson, right? What are the pros? Pros are he's developed young talent. Superstars in the league love him and respect him, aka LeBron James and AD would be ecstatic if he was the coach. He builds a winning culture from the ground up, which he did in Golden State. He's outspoken, meaning he could bump heads with the front office. To me, those are all pros because we don't want the front office running the show anymore. We want the coach to be able to do his job. And like I said, he's a winning like he's a preacher, man. So he's definitely selling the product. This is why there's 5 good reasons why we should hire Mark Jackson. Now, can somebody give me a couple reasons why we can't? Because I can't think of any why we shouldn't. He said Mark don't like people. That's not true, man. That's the narrative. That is the narrative. He said, I wish we could get a very experienced GM such as the Warriors GM and the Thunder or the Raptors GM. David Griffin was dope. What he has done for the Pelicans. And, here's the thing about David Griffin. People were hard on him. All right, myself included, because they got rid of Lonzo and all this and that. But they have allowed Brandon Ingram to flourish and develop. That's already a good job in itself. Then they're going out there and getting players like Trey Murphy III, Jones, obviously Grand Theft Alvarado, like all these no-name players, and playing them heavy minutes, which is what you should do with a young team, allowing them to grow together so that they can get that playoff experience and they can be more dangerous next year. I think he's done a great job there, man. David Griffin. I wouldn't mind having a GM like that if Rob doesn't work out. Is it because Mark made comments about? He said, I wish we could get very experienced GMs such as. I already read that one. We need a coach that players respect. Give me names, brother. Give me names. He said he built the Warriors contending team and Kerr rode the wave. Exactly. Snyder's the worst coach on the list. He said, what's up, Dan? Who you got, Luka Magic or the flopping Suns? Well, I'm pulling for Luka. I'm a big Luka Doncic fan, so I'm pulling for Luka. The Suns are good. Obviously, the Suns have what it takes to get back to the finals because they have the experience under their belt, right? And they got a little better in the offseason by acquiring JaVale. I think that was good. And obviously, they have a good head coach. They have what it takes. But I also think they can get knocked out because I don't see them as title favorites. I see them as title contenders, meaning they can get to the finals again if everything goes right. But I'm hoping for either Luka Doncic to pull up the upset, or maybe the Warriors will be there in the Western Conference Finals to knock them off. I just don't want to see the Suns win. I know a lot of people cheering for Chris Paul and all that, but I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Phoenix. I think you know why. Our history there already is like a mini Western Conference rivalry right now, and yeah, I would love to see them get knocked out. Them and Boston are the two teams I need to see knocked out. After that, if Boston and Phoenix gets knocked out, then I'm going to enjoy the rest of the playoffs and may the best team win because I don't have a dog in the fight anyways. but I wouldn't hate any of the teams remaining. Now, I do believe the Bucks will eliminate the Celtics, but if they don't, I also believe that whoever wins that series is probably going to end up in the finals. Last thing I want is the Celtics versus the Suns finals, because that would be a lose-lose. Now I'm forced to root for the Suns to get their first championship in history, because I'm not rooting for the Celtics. So you see my dilemma here and why I want both of those teams to get eliminated. That way I can enjoy the finals and actually root for one of the underdog teams that I have no quarrels with. But that's just me. Who y'all got, man? I want to know. This has been an excellent playoffs. Even though our Lakers aren't in it, it would be that much more amazing if we were. But this playoffs has not disappointed. By the way, Chris Paul going 14 for 14 from the field, breaking the record for the most straight field goals made. That was nuts, man. And I dislike Chris Paul, but I got to give him credit, man. That was crazy. I mean, he is the ultimate floor general. And you don't see a lot of that type of point guard in the league nowadays. Everybody's a scorer first. But this guy controls the tempo. He makes sure they get open shots. He's something else. And it still hurts me to see Chris Paul play because of basketball reasons. You know, Laker fans know what's up. But overall, man, it is what it is. I'm over it. Boston or Bucks? I got the Bucks. I got the Bucks coming out of the East. I'm sticking with my pick, even though they don't have Chris Middleton. But this is the key, man. This is why I have the Bucks as championship favorites. Giannis has taken this game to the next level. Last I checked, they still got one of the best point guard defenders in the league in Drew Holiday, if not the best, up there with Marcus Smart. And they got the size to compete and battle down low, and the role players as well. So I still like them to come out on top. And I still feel like Boston is still one player away, even though they're deep. Don't get me wrong. I mean, what Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have done, crazy, right? 2 combo wings, killing the game. I think Marcus Smart at the point guard, perfect. They should have been played him there from the beginning of his career, but they finally figured it out. They have him in his rightful position. He's killing at the position defensively and offensively. Then you got the big man in Robert Williams inside, plus the good role players off the bench. So that's definitely a dangerous team. I still think they're lacking one thing, and I can't quite point my finger on it, but my gut tells me they will lose to the Bucks in 6 or 7, and you know, the more they lose, the better it is for our hopes of landing Jason Tatum in the future. The more they win, and God forbid if they win a championship, Jason Tatum's probably going to be locked up. He's going to buy into that disgusting leprechaun green, and you know, they're going to brainwash him to think this is your future. This we already got you a chip, man. Just stick with us. And so everybody, I don't care if you're a Jason Tatum fan or not, y'all should be rooting against Boston to be successful. Just first of all, you're a Laker fan. You're a Laker fan. You're rooting for Boston. Shame on you. I don't care how much you like Jason Tatum or whatnot. But if you're rooting for the player individually, I get you. I got it. I got no quarrels with that. But you should really be rooting for that player to lose. That way he gets frustrated. Frustration leads to a boiling point. Boiling point leads to either requesting a trade or leaving in free agency. And that is what we want as Laker fans, especially Boston. That is what we want. If you really like Jason Tatum, you would love to see him in purple and gold, root against your favorite player, man. Root against this guy, you know, because that's the only way you're going to get a chance at him. He said, Dan, my favorite potential Russ trade is Hield and Brogdon for Russ. Thoughts? Hield and Brogdon, yes, that's a really good trade. If we're able to pull that off without giving up any draft picks, that's even more amazing. I don't think it'll happen, but he said, you watching Winning Time, brother? It's fire. Yes, sir. I'm up to date, man. I'm up to date. I can't wait for this new episode on Sunday. Crazy, right? Amazing show. Amazing show, and Jerry West trying to take it down, man. Shame on Jerry West. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's become bitter. I know exactly what's going on with him. He became a Clipper, but he needs to stop being bitter, man. He's a legend. Lakers always going to love him. We thank him forever for bringing Kobe, which is probably his best accomplishment as a Laker, personally. But, man, I hate to see him going out like this. He's going out sad. Like, don't worry about your image, dog. Like, just let it rock. He said, what episode is it on? I'm on episode 8. I think I just finished episode 8, right? So I think we're about to go to episode 9. I think so. Yes, sir. Ronnie. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, you definitely got to rewind this. We definitely touched on a bunch of subjects. The main one is Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham potentially becoming the next Lakers coach. He's about to get interviewed. Very curious, man, to see the follow-up on that. I got you guys with any breaking news. Any other coaches get interviewed, I will come on here live and break it down for you. I basically gave the breakdown in the first 5 minutes of the video of my opinion on that. He said, I can't wait to see They Call Me Magic as well. I know, right? Documentaries are dope as heck, man. I I think we're ready. I think Los Angeles is ready for that Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal dynasty documentary. I would love to see one. It was hard the first couple of years after his passing, God rest his soul, but I think we're ready, man, for greatness. If the Michael Jordan one was so great, I think this Laker one's going to be even that much better. And I would love to see it, man. So, Dan, did you hear Future's new album? It's fire. I did hear it, bro. I'm featured on a track. No, I'm just playing. That would be dope, though. Hey, it's in my future, man. I'll be the first mainstream Mexican to make my people proud, man. I'm going to be featured on one Superstars track. Watch. Just wait. Yeah, I did hear the album, though. It's really sick. Really sick, man. How much of Winning Time is dramatized? That's for you to figure out. That's up to you to fact check everything. For me, I'm just enjoying the series as it is. I'm sure a lot of it is dramatized, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's Hollywood, baby. Hollywood's always dramatized. I mean, look at this Laker offseason. It's dramatized. So yeah, some things are going to be exaggerated a little bit, but that's okay. It's still Laker history. There's still Laker greatness, and it's still a very good story that if you're a diehard Laker fan like us, you're going to enjoy. Damian Lillard's going to be a Laker one day. You think so? I kind of gave up hope on him because he always says something disappointing. He always says something along the lines of, I'd rather retire here, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bruh, that's fine. But I'm turning the page on Dame. If it happens, and yes, I'll be ecstatic because he's one of my favorite players. But I'm not holding my breath for this cat because I don't know what he wants, honestly. He'll say one thing and he'll say something else. I don't know. No to Mike Brown. Mike Brown is LeBron's guy. If we get Mike Brown, it's strictly because Rob Pelinka is still doing whatever LeBron and Clutch wants. We'll know that for a fact, but I don't expect that to happen. I'm not a big Mike Brown fan at all. He already was a coach of the Lakers here, and we sucked. He already showed me what he could do with lesser talent. Now, maybe he's the type of coach that needs all these cogs and all these pieces to make it work, but I need a coach that's going to maximize whatever we have because I'm sick of excuses. I don't want to hear, we don't have this player, so we can't really evaluate the coach right. No. The moment you land in LA, you're being evaluated. From the moment you step out the jet, whatever you're rocking, we're evaluating your ass, man. If that shit, you better be fly as heck as the next Laker coach, man. The minute you land, I promise you the microscope is on you. It's just LA is different. Like I said, it's prime time. Dan, would you take Popovich if he was available? Of course. In a heartbeat, I'd take his Freddy Krueger looking ass. Listen, bottom line is Greg Popovich is a great coach. Is he an asshole? Hell yeah, he's an asshole. I don't like that he snitched on my Lakers, and I dislike the fact that he tried to prevent trades from happening over here. But haters going to hate. That's the way it is. That's the way life is. The more successful you are, the more haters you have. And Greg Popovich is definitely a hater. He's a great coach, but he's a hater. But all is forgiven as soon as he goes to those doors, the Staples Center, aka crypto, and you become a Laker. All is forgiven. This fan base is very loving, very supportive. As long as you embrace us, we will embrace you. And obviously, you got to put in work. Obviously. Steve Nash is not a good coach. Definitely not. And I mean, you got to look what coaching tree he's coming from. He's coming from the Mike D'Antoni coaching tree. And as good as Mike D'Antoni is offensively, he definitely is trash defensively. And you can see that translate with Steve Nash's team. You definitely could, man. I'd rather see Miami win it all because I don't want the 76ers or the Celtics or the Warriors to make it. Miami's not a bad option. I got no quarrels against Miami. They definitely have the talent to do it for sure. But my bet is still, if I had to bet the house, I'm going with Milwaukee to come out of the East. Giannis right now is at the top of his game. Some might argue that he's the best player in the league right now. The role players are on point. The coaching is on point. It's a perfect blend right now. This is their time right now. And I'm not a Milwaukee Bucks fan. Hell no. But I respect talent and I love their humility. That's a humble team. So it's really hard to cheer against them, especially when you don't have any dogs in the fight. He said, I'm feeling the Darvin Ham interview. He said, this dude can be a good coach. I do think he could work out for sure, Blake. But I would like for the Lakers not to make their decision right now. Interview the guy, interview Mark Jackson, interview Quinn Snyder, whatever it takes. And you have to make sure you get your number one choice. It has to be yours to make. You don't want to make any mistakes. You don't want to make any premature decisions. But I do like that they're starting the coaching job search early because a lot of people were speculating that it wouldn't happen until after the playoffs are done. Now the Lakers are trying to get out ahead of the curve, so I applaud them on that. That's a good thing. That's always a good thing. Lakers trying to get out ahead of the curve is a great thing. He says Celtics will beat Milwaukee 100. They have the talent to do it, but we'll see. I still got Milwaukee coming out of that for sure. The only reason I give the Celtics a chance is because A, Jason Tatum has been spectacular. B, their defense is phenomenal. And C, obviously no Chris Middleton. So that they definitely have a puncher's chance. But you know what I think about how highly I think of Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. If Middleton comes back by the time that then they're the favorites. If the Bucks get past the Celtics without Chris Middleton, they're going to be in the finals and they're probably going to win another championship. It's that simple. I really believe that whoever comes out of this series might be the next NBA champion. And I hate to say that because Boston's on the other end, but Boston has paid their dues. They've been in the playoffs many years. Their youngsters have got playoff experience by now, and they're peaking at the right time, which is now. Remember, they struggled early to start the season, but now they're starting to peak. So that is exactly how you start getting some steam. Remember the year we won in the bubble, 2020? We struggled throughout the course of the season. Obviously, we battled some injuries here and there, but eventually we peaked at the right time. And nobody had us as title favorites. People had us getting knocked out in the first round by Portland. And that's why I hate it when they try to diminish our bubble ring or whatever you want to call it, because at the end of the day, that was some of the highest level basketball being played inside that bubble. Some might argue that it was even better than some of the basketball being played today. So it was a hard-fought championship, and we deserve it. Dan, some Dodger news. What do you think about Bure's suspension 2 years? BS. It's tough, man. It's tough. But there's consequences to all the actions, man. That's all I gotta say. I can't judge a man. Only God can judge a man, but there's consequences to our actions, man, and that's why you gotta be careful with the way you conduct yourself at all times. Obviously, I'm a Dodger fan and all that, but does the punishment fit the crime? I don't know. That's not for me to determine. People still calling it a Mickey Mouse ring. You know what's funny? They would be praising their team had they won it. So it's all hate, man. They got a Mickey Mouse IQ. That's all it is. Kobe also loved Darvin everywhere he assisted, coached. He said Kobe always searched him out to drop him up after games. I know. Like I said, the Laker connection is there. But for once in my life, I really don't want to hire somebody based off of that. I want to hire him based off of his basketball acumen. Okay, because at the end of the day, Kobe's not going to come back to save him if he's on the hot seat. He has to, carry his own weight. At the end of the day, he needs to let his basketball IQ and his coaching, and he needs to do his job right to be able to hold that job down. Because being a Lakers coach, as you can find out with Frank Vogel, is not something that you can just reserve forever. It's not like a parking with your name on it. No, you have to forever battle for your position, and you have to make sure that you're always keeping everything up to par, up to standard. And that's the key right there. And this because the Laker fans will turn on you. We love our team. We're passionate about our team. People hate us for it or whatever, but we're passionate about our team. I mean, look at Russell Westbrook. He definitely felt our passion and our fury because he didn't care about the game like we do. If you can't match the fan, you should be exceeding the fan passion. You should be running laps around the fans' passion. But if you can't even match our passion, then we're gonna have a problem with you. That's the bottom line. We love our team, man. We bleed purple and gold. Look at this. We're in the off season. We still finding ways to make Laker content and bring you guys videos. So, and there's still 200 people here in the chat live, and there's gonna be thousands by the end of the day. So, it's a blessing to be a Laker fan, and it's very easy for me. Even in our down years, I've seen people say, "Oh, it's hard for me right now. I don't want to do this right now because the Lakers are struggling. I don't want to show up to work." Please. I wish somebody would talk smack to me when I showed up to work, because I would empty this clip of my just basketball acumen and just school them, take them to church, man. And that's just the bottom line. It's a pleasure, it's an honor, it's a blessing to be a Laker fan. We really are spoiled, even in the bad years. What's up, Cyrus? What's up, my brother? Dan, is it just me, or do you also get emotional when watching the 2020 championship? It was so special. I do, man. I really do. It was a very special championship. We all know why. It was dedicated to the Black Mamba, man, and Gigi and everybody who perished that year. So it was a tough year for sure. And it was that championship came during a really hard time when COVID was at its peak and people really couldn't go outside and do much, right? I remember I used to work at Amazon. They gave me this permit just in case the police pulled me over because you weren't supposed to be out at a certain time of the night. And I used to work the night shift. Um, so if they pulled me over, they could say, okay, I'm headed from point A to point B. This is my proof right here that I work for Amazon. That's how bad it was at one point. And when sports came back around, when they, did the bubble, I thought it was great. I was like, we need this, man. We need our spirits were lifted. We already went through the whole helicopter accident and everything. We were depressed not just as a Laker fan, but as the basketball community was in shock. And so it was like our saving grace that season. And winning that championship, man, literally brought tears of joy to my eyes because I was like, this one was definitely for Kobe. It was just a blessing. You said it's good tuning into your live while I'm at work. Yes, sir. Just don't get fired, man. Don't get caught up. But yeah, I appreciate you, man. Jason Tatum, future Laker. I really hope so. But listen, a lot depends on the success or failure of Jason Tatum now. So if you like Jason Tatum, you're cheering for him, I suggest that's fine. Cheer for his individual stats, but hope that his team loses because the more he loses, the more the frustration boils over, the more he ends up thinking of us, the purple and gold, the most beautiful team in the world, man. We're gonna be in the back of his mind. He said, we got to play 2K now soon. I'm going to hit you up this weekend if you're not busy. He said, let's do it. I need my rematch. Bro really wants to beat me, man. I respect that. He is relentless, He said, hey, Dan, were you able to get the new Mambasita Sweet 16 shoes? No, I was not. Was that today? I didn't know that was releasing today. Nah, but I don't have a lot of good luck on the sneakers app. Like I tried every single Kobe shoe to get from there, and I was not able to do it. I even had my girl create an account and all that. I tried to get one. Nah, we are not able to do it. So I kind of gave up on that app. And if I ever am blessed enough to have the money, I'll just buy the sneakers outright, probably from StockX or something. Was anybody here able to get it? I thought that was going to release in next month, right? Wasn't it? I don't know. That's what I read. I got an email. He said, Bubble AD was a glitch. Do you see him in that form again the rest of his career, or would we trade him? I think he can be that guy again. We definitely need a coach who's going to empower him and put him in the best positions. He needs to learn how to take care of his body, though. Whatever's bothering him, whether that's wearing low tops or whatever it is, he needs to learn how to take care of his body because he needs to last a full season at least, man, to get that version of him back out. But yeah, he's that dude. He is that guy. It's just he's been very plagued with injuries, and then obviously playing next to Russell Westbrook, who just has tunnel vision, is going to take you out, right? We saw the best version of him whenever LeBron and him were on the court by themselves with no Westbrook, and so that's exactly what we need. We need to get rid of Westbrook and get the right players around those two so that he can flourish. So yeah, they released the sneakers app for people in the LA area. Man, I didn't even know that, bro. That's crazy. But you know what? With my luck, it is what it is. I haven't had luck on that app. I have luck on a lot of other stuff, or I should say blessings from God, but but not on that app. What are your thoughts of Broadus, his son's super fan who dissed the Lakers? I don't watch other YouTubers, bro. I try to stay busy. I'm making music, spending time with my family, with my loved ones, and just try to keep myself busy. That way, this summer goes by quicker, and we're able to get back to Lakers basketball, which is my life, man. Ball is life. But yeah, I'll just focus on that. I'm gonna be focused on my second channel. I don't have time to watch a lot of people. Like, I know who he is though, because my boy sent me a clip of him crying when Devin Booker got injured or some shit like that, which was weird. It looked like he was forcing tears for YouTube. That's one thing I will never do for YouTube, man. Faking emotion. That's weird to me, But yeah, I mean, that's it. I wish him the best, man. That's all. He said, I wanted the Pelicans to beat the Suns. Brandon Ingram is a killer. I'm glad Brandon Ingram has finally become what I always prophesized he would be. And he's only going to get better. So I'm happy for them. That's a very good young team. Fun to watch and all that. All that, man. One of our issues was free throws this year. That's true. That is true. Hey, Dan, who do you think we should should be the Lakers' next head coach. I got my pecking order. It starts from pipe dream. I'm gonna go with Mike Krzyzewski. After him, I'm putting Mark Jackson. I think Mark Jackson's my realistic option favorite. After Mark Jackson, I'd go probably. I was confused with Van Gundy's, but I wouldn't mind Jeff or Avery Johnson, the little general, somebody tough like that, somebody stern. Wouldn't mind that. Obviously, I forgot to mention Phil, but he's definitely a pipe dream because he's not healthy at his age, unfortunately. But man, all in all, um, we'll see. Darvin Ham, he's not very high on my list, but I wouldn't be mad if we got him because obviously he's coming from a winning culture. He's paid his dues as an assistant, and maybe he's ready. I don't know. I don't know too much about him, but maybe he'll be ready. I'd be happy with him as long as he puts us in the best position to succeed, and he uses our size if we even have that next year on the roster. He uses our size and our advantages. That's all I expect from a coach. And obviously, if he can command the locker room, that would be dope. But I hear he's really well respected around the league from a lot of people, very similar to Monty Williams. So it seems like the boxes check out. But again, I have a different pecking order as far as who my favorites are or whatnot. How about the Jazz coach? He's not very high up on my list, honestly. His track record precedes him, but am I going to be mad if they hire him? No. I think any of these coaches we've already mentioned are going to be definitely a step up from Frank, which is huge. Frank was just too stubborn. He would play Isaiah Thomas at the center and let him get cooked by Joel Embiid if it was up to him, and he wouldn't do nothing. Reminded me of the Timberwolves coach, who I think has been doing a horrible job with the young Timberwolves because they really should have won that series already versus Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. But credit to Ja. I mean, he's tough. And the Grizzlies have battled back, but he doesn't have his team executing down the stretch. And usually young teams are like that, but coaching goes a long way to helping them through that process. And that's what I think about our coach. We need somebody who can call timeouts at the right time, shift the momentum, call the right plays off of the timeouts, half court sets, run the right everything, have the right pecking order offensively, have set rotations by the end of preseason, and stick with those rotations. And if it doesn't work out, then make an adjustment, but don't switch the rotations every so often. I mean, we were really in basketball hell as Laker fans because we keep watching Frank Vogel make elementary school mistakes, switching the lineups every other time, playing the wrong starting lineups, playing old people that shouldn't be playing like Ariza and DeAndre Jordan, starting them, as a matter of fact. We need a coach that's going to know these things. Like, if a fan knows it, a coach should definitely know it. And, that's what we need. Do you guys agree with me on that? Because I'm cool with Quinn or Sam Cassell. We ain't getting Mark Jackson, unfortunately. Well, who knows? Hey, Dejuan, who knows, bro? Listen, at the end of the day, we don't really know what the Lakers are going to do. All right, Rob Pelinka has kept everything close to the chest from the moment he has walked into the front office and took over as a president of basketball operations. So we don't know. The rumor has it that we are interested in Darvin Ham, Quinn Snyder. The other night, I read a rumor about Mark Jackson being high on our priority list. So we don't know. We're going to get conflicting reports. We're going to get different stuff. But till we officially make that hire, I honestly have no clue. And you guys know I'm very good at predicting these things. I would hope it's Mark Jackson, but I have no clue who the Lakers are going to hire officially as a coach. Like, no clue at all. Dan, did we make a mistake trading Rondo too soon last season? We didn't have as much depth as we thought. Could have used them. Who will be our locker room's leaders next year? I did think we made a mistake. From the moment we made that trade, if you go back and watch that video, I was disappointed. I was not happy about it at all. Again, especially with the chemistry that AD and Rondo had. Like I said, he's a fire starter. He's somebody that would get him out the gates quick, and all of a sudden now AD would be going for 30 or 40 because of it. But there's not a lot of floor generals like Rondo and Chris Paul in this league left. Most of the guards are scorers first. So, yeah, I was definitely disappointed. Who's going to be – now, to answer the second part of your question, who's going to be our leaders next season? I will tell you that once that roster is formulated, because right now we don't know who's coming back. We don't know who we're going to acquire in the offseason. There's going to be future free agent videos coming on this channel and all that. So keep it locked. I got y'all. But yeah, some of those questions to be determined, man. He said, I'll hit you up tomorrow. Have a good stream if you want the rematch. He said, but I'm going to win when we play it next time for sure. You said that the last couple times I beat you, bro. But I like the confidence. Keep it up, man. I ain't mad at you. Have a good day too, bro. So what do you think of Larry Drew for head coach? I like him. I don't love him, but I like him. I mean, he seems very stern. He seems like he would be able to command the locker room, but I'm not sure about the X's and O's aspect of a Larry Drew. Um, but yeah, I mean, he's solid. There's a lot of great options out there. That's why I want the Lakers to make sure they do their due diligence and go through every little, they scour every little corner for the right coach. We don't want to jump into something. I would be disappointed if the Lakers just came out and announced the next head coach without going through different candidates. That's just me. I remember a couple years back they were going through um, candidates, and Mike Dunleavy's name popped up, ex-Clipper coach. I was like, no, some names you don't want them to pop up, but at least they did their due diligence, and it didn't work out. We ended up with Mike D'Antoni, but again, that's a story for another day, because we all know about Jim Buss's Lakers. We were bad. Darvin Ham is really better than Vogel. You know what, Queen Strawberry? I think so. I think he is. Listen, he's obviously on the defending champion roster, and I don't give full credit to the head coach. Assistants always have something to do with it when it comes to coaching. I think the way that the Bucks are coached is very phenomenal. I also think he has something. I think he's somewhat of a good player developmental coach as well. Now, how much of a step up from Frank he would be to be determined, because we've never seen him at the head coaching position that I remember, right? So, but I do like Darvin Ham. I don't mind him at all. But again, before we make our decision, I don't want us to jump on the gun on anything. This is just the beginning of the coaching search. There's going to be plenty more videos like this when we speculate and we talk, but this is good. I just try to keep the fan base updated, and I wanted to bring this video to you guys today just to touch bases and let you guys know what's going on. Some of you guys already follow me on Twitter. You already know what's up. You guys follow Shams or Woj. You already know what's up, but I'm still going to bring these updates as soon as I can, because some people don't. Some people need these updates, and then a lot of you guys want to hear our opinion, my opinion, the fan base's opinion, what we think about these potential candidates. So it's always good. It's always good to break it down. Always a pleasure. Thank you guys so much. Again, major shout out to my sponsor, Prize Picks. If y'all haven't checked them out, make sure to do that. 100% deposit match guarantee with the promo code DTLF. So thank you guys again tonight for tuning in, or should I say today? Still the daytime. For tuning in. I appreciate y'all very, very much. I will see you guys here real soon. Like I said, I keep my ear low to the ground. Any rumors worth talking about pop up, you know where to find me. But other than that, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Information down low right here on the ticker. And I will see you guys during the next rumor video. All right, peace out.